This original WSRE presentation is made possible by viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the Escambia County Academic Challenge presented by WSRE. The Escambia School District is pleased to partner with WSRE to showcase some of our area's best and brightest high school students. I'm Jonathan Thompson, host and moderator for tonight's match. This evening's competition features our two unbeaten teams, Pensacola High School and Tate High School. I'll now have the players from Pensacola introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Madison, and my favorite novel is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Hi, I'm Nathan, and my favorite novel is A Tale of Two Cities.
Hi, I'm Preston, and I enjoy A Brave New World.
Hi, my name is Aaron, and my favorite literary work is The Brothers Karamazov.
And the coach for Pensacola is Alan Robinson. Now the players from Tate will introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Chance Stirrup, and my favorite musical artist is John Mayer.
I'm John Walker, and my favorite musical artist is Hillsong United.
My name is Ryan Colburn, and my favorite musical artist is Beyonce Knowles Carter.
My name is Ian, and my favorite musical artist is Florence and the Machine.
And the coach for Tate is Tristan Harris. Please join us after this break, and we will begin tonight's match.
There is one stage that is the Met and Carnegie Hall. It is the Kennedy Center and a club in Austin. It is closer than any seat in the house, no matter where you call home. PBS, the great American stage that fits in every living room. Supporting your PBS station brings the arts home.
Welcome back. Teams will have two 10-minute halves in which to answer a variety of toss-up and bonus questions. If you're ready, teams, we will begin. Toss-up. Some of his woodcuts are titled Puddle, Dolphins, and Metamorphosis. Though he did not have a significant mathematical background, he was fascinated by figures such as Necker cubes that are contradictory. This artist usually...
Pensacola, player 2.
Escher?
That is correct. For your bonus, identify the following Asian countries from their descriptions for 10 points each. First, Rawalpindi, located on the Patwar Plateau near Islamabad, is the military headquarters of this country.
Pakistan?
Correct. Next, Almaty is the largest city in this second largest former Soviet republic, which borders both the Caspian Sea and China.
Kazakhstan?
That is correct. Toss up. This book contains two characters named Obstinate and Pliable, who are residents of the City of Destruction. The main character, an everyman named Christian, travels...
Tate, player 4.
Pilgrim's Progress?
That is correct. For your bonus, it's a good thing Heracles completed his 12 labors before the passage of the Endangered Species Act. For 10 points each, first, he enlisted his friend Aeolus to burn the stumps on this creature before any new heads could grow back.
Hydra?
That is correct. Next, after killing this beast, Heracles proudly wore its skin.
Leopard.
Answer, please.
Leopard?
Incorrect. That's the Nemean lion. Toss up. This name is given to organic compounds with carboxylic acid groups in which the hydrogen of the carboxyl group has been replaced by an alkyl group. Identify these chemicals that are sometimes used as food additives and are responsible for many distinctive flavors and odors.
Pensacola, player 2.
Esters?
That is correct. For your bonus, it ran into enormous problems during the composition over its libretto, such as cutting some licentious scenes and changing one of the main characters from the King of France to an unnamed Duke of Mantua. For 10 points each, first, name this opera drawn from Victor Hugo's The King Amuses Himself, in which the title character is a hunchbacked jester trying to save his daughter from the attentions of the womanizing Duke.
Do we know?
Answer, please.
No answer.
That is Rigoletto. Next, Rigoletto is a collaboration of the librettist Francesco Paive and this composer.
Verdi.
That is correct. Toss up. This is the smallest member of the European Union. It contains 7 islands, including Gozo and Comino, and it is located in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea.
Pensacola. Player 4.
Malta.
That is correct. For your bonus, identify these people concerned with a literary group called the Inklings for 10 points each. First, he wrote Pilgrim's Regress following his conversion to Christianity, and is better known for his fantasy series, which includes The Silver Chair and The Last Battle.
C.S. Lewis.
Correct. Next, he wrote the Book of Lost Tales while recuperating from illness during World War I, but is better known for his fantasy trilogy and The Silmarillion.
Oh, yeah, Tolkien.
That is correct. Toss up, this is calculation. Find the point of intersection of the lines y equals 3x minus 2 and 2x plus y equals 13.
Tate. Player 4.
X equals 3.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It needed both parts, x equals 3 and y equals 7, or the ordered pair 3, 7. Toss up. The main character in this film is Jeff Jeffries, who is normally a magazine photographer. He is deciding whether to propose to Lisa Fremont, who is played by Grace Kelly. He spends the entire movie watching married couples and eventually becomes obsessed with his theory that a neighboring man has killed his invalid wife. Name this movie starring James Stewart that was directed by Alfred Hitchcock.
Pensacola. Player 1.
The Rear Window.
That is correct. For your bonus, answer the following about U.S. foreign relations of the 19th century for 10 points each. 1. This term coined by John O'Sullivan expressed the ideology that American policy of westward expansionism in the 1840s and later the 1890s was part of divine will.
Manifest Destiny.
Correct. Next, this 1842 treaty resolved the border dispute which was the cause for the Aroostook War and set the boundaries between the U.S. and Canada up to the Rocky Mountains. Answer, please.
No answer.
That is the Webster-Ashburton Treaty. Toss up. Barrett's Chapel in Delaware is known as the cradle of the American branch of this religion, which began in England in 1739. Francis Asbury and Thomas Coke were early preachers of this denomination, which split from the Church of England in 1784. They believed in salvation by faith alone, and their symbol is a flame overlaid with a cross.
Pensacola. Player 3.
Methodism.
Correct. For your bonus, identify these early American poets for 10 points each. First, this woman's brother published some of her works under the title The 10th Muse Lately Sprung Up in America in 1650.
Bradstreet.
Correct. Next, this African-American poet, kept as a slave by a Boston merchant, became renowned for her Poems on Various Subjects, published in 1773.
No answer.
That was Phyllis Wheatley. Toss up. Small amounts of it pass into the bloodstream where it continues its main function, which is best achieved at a pH of 1.5 to 2.5. It is produced when impulses from the vagus nerve and the actions of secretin and gastrin stimulate the release of its precursor, which is mixed with hydrochloric acid to convert it to active form. Name this powerful enzyme in gastric juice that
Pensacola.
digests.
Player 4.
Pepsin.
Correct. For your bonus, answer the following about the liaisons of Zeus, king of the gods, for 10 points each. First, Zeus took the guise of a white bull to lure this beautiful maiden away for some romance. Their offspring were Minos, Rhadamanthys, and Sarpedon.
Europa.
Correct. Next, continuing with a bovine trend, Zeus quickly changed this lover of his into a white heifer to trick Hera, but it didn't work, and Hera sent a gadfly to chase this poor woman in cow form around the earth.
Do we know?
Answer, please.
Leda.
Incorrect, that was Io. Toss up. The first ruler of this government instituted laws such as the Sankin Kotai and codified many of the reforms made under his predecessor, Toyotomi Hideyoshi. Because of continued distrust of Europeans and Christians, the Shimabara revolt prompted religious persecution.
Pensacola. Player 2.
The Tokugawa shogunate.
Correct. For your bonus, answer the following about atomic orbitals for 10 points each. First, this principle with a German name describes the order in which orbitals are filled in successive elements of the periodic table.
Aufbau.
Correct. Next, this type of hybridized orbital appears frequently in chemistry, as in with methane.
SP3.
That is correct. Toss up. They were first brought to Japan by emissaries from China, although their current form was established in the Edo period. The Emperor Meiji outlawed their use by police, teachers, and railroad men. All parts, including the Ushiro Migoro, Okumi, and Furi, are all made from a tan, which measures 14 inches by 12.5 yards. Literally meaning thing to wear, name this traditional clothing of
Tate.
Japan.
Player 3.
Kimono.
That is correct. For your bonus, answer these about historical figures who have had places named for them for 10 points each. First, Queen Elizabeth had this colony named after her, so called because she was never married.
Virginia.
Correct. Next, this Roman leader has a city in Ohio named for him. He voluntarily stepped down from power and was thus associated with George Washington.
Cincinnatus.
That is correct. Toss up. At the age of 7, he was already composing short pieces and performing regularly in his native land. When he played for Robert Schumann in 1827, the great composer famously exclaimed, "Hats off, gentlemen, a genius." Early works include the Rondo à la Krakowiak, but it was in France where his other works gained acclaim, including waltzes like the Grande Valse Brillante and the Minute Waltz. And that marks the end of the half. Please join us after the break for a score check and the second 10-minute half.
Growing up in the 80s, we used to play hide and go seek, hopscotch, kickball. All of a sudden, those streets I used to play in were flooded with violence and drugs, and it became a very dangerous place. I had to walk from my school through gang territory after gang territory after gang territory before I finally got home. There was a point where I looked out my window onto my street where my neighbor had been shot, and I really didn't see myself making it to 21. I have to say, I retreated to my living room to find safety, to avoid the danger. The living room television became a window, a gateway into a broader world, a world that was closed off for me. If I ran home, I got to watch Bob Ross on PBS.
Maybe there's a happy tree. Look at that.
Not only was his painting technique almost like a magic trick, but after the stress of running home, it would just soothe me. Art is an extremely important part of my life. Today, I'm one of the founding members of Artists for Humanity, where I mentor young people to help them find creative solutions for the problems they see in the world. We use artwork to teach life lessons. I do my best as a mentor to keep kids out of gangs, to make sure that there is a clear path towards success from my neighborhood. I found that path through PBS. Growing up, sometimes I felt despair. But when you can turn on the television and see a beautiful world, it gives you hope that you can make it to that world.
Welcome back. At the half, the score is Pensacola with 170 and Tate with 50. Neither team has made any substitutions, so we're ready to jump right into the second 10-minute half. Question. Once considered a completely mythological tribe, archaeologists now believe that excavations done near the Mongolia-Kazakhstan border might have unearthed evidence of their existence. Herodotus wrote that this tribe was subsumed by the Scythians, but in myth they were completely autonomous. Descended from Ares and Harmonia, and led by Penthesilea and Hippolyta, among others, what name?
Pensacola, player 1.
The Amazons.
That is correct. For your bonus, identify these early 20th century artists from their works for 10 points each. First, Galatea of the Spheres, Swans Reflecting Elephants, The Persistence of Memory.
Yeah, Dali.
That is correct. Next, The Chess Players, Fountain, Nude Descending a Staircase.
Duchamp.
That is correct. Toss up. One type of spectroscopy takes advantage of it in order to measure the work function of metals. This effect was studied by and is sometimes named after Heinrich Hertz, but is more famously associated with another man who won the Nobel Prize for explaining it. Name this phenomenon, which was explained by Albert Einstein in 1905.
Pensacola, player 2.
And the photoelectric effect?
Correct. For your bonus, identify these African kingdoms given the clues for 10 points each. First, this Western African kingdom flourished along valuable gold and spice trade routes and from 800 until falling to the Almoravids in 1054. The modern nation with this name has its capital at Accra.
Yeah, Ghana.
Correct. Yeah. Next, this empire destroyed the last remnants of Ghana and flourished from its founding in the 13th century by Sundiata until its subjugation by the Songhai in the 15th century.
Mali.
The modern nation with this name has its capital at Bamako.
Mali.
Yes,
Sorry.
that is correct. Toss up. I believe a speck of dust would have caused him more pain than a bullet wound. This description applies to a character who first appeared in the 1920 novel The Mysterious Affair at Styles. He has been portrayed in film by Albert Finney, Peter Ustinov, and David Suchet. Identify this Belgian detective created by Agatha Christie.
Tate, player 1.
Sherlock Holmes.
Incorrect.
Pensacola, player 3.
Poirot.
Hercule Poirot is correct. For your bonus, answer these about molecular bonding for 10 points each. First, this term denotes the measure of an atom to attract electrons to itself while participating in a bond.
Yeah, electronegativity.
Correct. Next, when atoms of differing electronegativity are bonded, polarization creates an electrical force given this name. Its unit of measurement is the dBi.
I don't think so.
Answer, please.
No answer.
It's the dipole moment. Toss up. Accomplished for $10 million. It was backed by President Pierce since he wanted to ensure U.S. possession of the Mesilla Valley. Purportedly done to clear up confusion after the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, it was mainly carried through...
Tate, player 2.
The Gadsden Purchase.
That is correct. For your bonus, answer the following about the celebration of Passover for 10 points each. First, celebrated on the first night of Passover, this feast commemorates the exodus of the Jews from Egypt.
Seder meal.
That is correct. Next, often consumed during the Seder is this food item that during Passover can only be made of plain flour and water, and hence is flat and somewhat crispy.
Bread.
Can you be more specific?
Leavened.
Answer, please.
Leavened bread.
Incorrect. I'm looking for matzah. Toss up. Its sporozoites enter the liver, where they become merozoites and invade the red blood cells, which become sticky with a visible ring-shaped structure inside. It has been called quartan fever because of its periodicity, and is carried by the Anopheles genus of mosquitoes. Name this disease caused by the genus Plasmodium, whose name means bad air.
Tate, player 1.
Malaria.
Correct. For your bonus, answer these about an American travel novel of the 1950s for 10 points each. First, this novel describes Dean Moriarty's peripatetic cross-country adventures with his friend Sal Paradise, including visits to Old Bull Lee.
No answer.
That is On the Road. Next bonus, On the Road by Kerouac is an example of this type of literary work, a novel with a key, in which characters are fictionalized versions of real people doing mostly real things.
Allegory.
Incorrect, that's a roman à clef. Toss up. In Austria, it was called Secessionstil. In Spain, Modernista. In Germany, Jugendstil. In Italy, Stile Floreale. The movement was much inspired by Japanese prints and emphasized dynamic twisting and curving lines and shapes. Exemplified by Louis Comfort Tiffany and Aubrey Beardsley, what was this turn-of-the-century design and art movement whose name literally means new art?
Tate, player 2.
Art Nouveau.
Correct. For your bonus, name these Supreme Court cases which occurred under Chief Justice John Marshall for 10 points each. First, this 1819 decision claimed that the Constitution grants to Congress implied powers inherent in the Constitution as a blueprint for a practically functional government. Answer?
No answer.
That is McCulloch v. Maryland. Next, this 1810 decision was the first court case to rule a state law unconstitutional. The case grew out of the 1795 Georgia State Legislature's sale of land in the Yazoo River country to private speculators in return for bribes.
No answer.
That was Fletcher v. Peck. Toss up. The titular line in this story is spoken by the proprietor of Red Sammy's Famous Barbecue during a discourse on the changing times. The central family is taking its children John Wesley and June Starr on vacation, despite the grandmother's argument that they should go to Tennessee instead of Florida. Tragedy strikes when the protagonist's cat causes Bailey to crash the car, leading to a confrontation with a criminal named the Misfit. Name this short story by Flannery O'Connor.
Tate, player 2.
A Good Man is Hard to Find.
Correct. For your bonus, give the taxonomic order of these literary mammals for 10 points each. First, Moby Dick.
Sedacia.
Correct. Next, Peter Rabbit.
Lacamorpha.
Very good. Toss up. She is a main character in the 11th chapter of the second book of Samuel. Her first husband was Uriah the Hittite, who died in battle. Her first child died at the age of...
Pensacola, player 2.
Bathsheba.
That is correct. For your bonus, name the following Latin American authors for 10 points each. First, this staunch supporter of the Chilean Communist Party and recipient of the 1971 Nobel Prize in Lit penned 20 love poems and a song of despair.
Pablo Neruda.
Correct. Next, supporting Neruda in his early writing career, this Chilean educator and author of the works Desolación and Sonnets of Death won the Nobel Prize in 1945.
There you go. No answer.
That is Gabriela Mistral. This next question involves calculation. How much time will it take Jane to cross a river? She wants to travel straight across it, so she will have to angle her body to cancel the current and swim across. The river is 30 meters wide. She can swim 5 meters per second in still water, and the current is 3 meters per second.
Tate, player 1.
60 seconds.
Incorrect. A little bit shorter, it was 7.5 seconds. Toss up. He dropped out of college, was temporarily blinded by a factory accident in 1867, and contracted malaria and typhus on a trip to Cuba. He was quite successful during his lifetime, however, and had a major impact on the policies of Theodore Roosevelt. Identify this author of The Mountains of California, who raised public sentiment to create the Sierra Club and our national park system. I think y'all need to watch the National Parks documentary on WSRE. That's John Muir. Toss up. This is the most corrosion-resistant metal, and either it or osmium is the densest known element. Most often used as a hardening agent for platinum, it is part of the alloy from which the standard meter bar is made. Discovered by Smithson-Tennant in 1803 from a residue of platinum dissolved. And that marks the end of the match. Please join us after the break for the final score.
TV can be a child's window to the world. What will they see?
When you support your PBS station, you're supporting possibilities. You're making sure there's a place for independent voices. You're opening children's minds. And you're giving everyone the chance to find inspiration from the arts. To discover more, be more. Support possibilities. Support your PBS station.
Welcome back. The final score for tonight's championship match is Pensacola High with 270 and Tate High with 120. I'd like to thank the students, coaches, and volunteers for making this night's match possible. I would also like to congratulate our 2014 runner-up team, Tate High School. And congratulations to our 2014 Escambia County Academic Challenge champions, Pensacola High School. Please join us again on WSRE for more of Academic Challenge. Thank you and good night.